criminal. Why is that?
He is a criminal. He's a criminal. He got caught. Read his laptop. And you know who's a criminal? You're a criminal for not reporting it.
Yeah.
You are a criminal for not reporting it. Let me tell you something. Joe Biden is a criminal, and he's been a criminal for a long time. And you're a criminal in the media for not reporting it. Good luck, everybody. Have a good...
Yikes.
Friends, I gotta get into this. I must get into this. If you happen to be new here, give this video a thumbs up. We're gonna go into some places today, forbidden ground, breaking news, things that should be talked about, but it's not really breaking news. It's been going on for a couple of days now. The issue is the quietness and the hush and the crickets of the mainstream media about this particular issue. It troubles me. So, just in case you don't know, Elon Musk has released a number of files concerning Joe Biden's administration and the relationship with his son, and the laptop that was being used to create illicit relationships with the Panda Nation. Choosing my words carefully here. So, all the facts is here. First of all, we knew it to be true. This is not news for me. I know it. I had to deal with censorship. I know what it's like, and many others were censored because of their political views on matters that they were told you're not allowed to speak on this. President Trump was censored. Many other conservative, particularly, were censored on Twitter, on Facebook, even on YouTube. So what I'm seeing is this government intervention working through social media to control the speech of Americans. And Elon Musk dropped the files showing exactly these things were happening, giving us evidence, confirming what we thought about before, and the many complaints we've heard. And you know what's crazy? The mainstream media, especially the Democrats, are completely silent.
How can you stay quiet?
Crickets. Here is the thing, friends. Let me share my screen. I'm on Twitter right now. Here I am on Twitter. This is Elon Musk. He did this just about 2 days ago, December 2nd. He says, "Here we go." So he dropped the bomb, right? He's using Matt Taibbi, which is a journalist. So Matt Taibbi is responsible for dropping those files. And it tells you what you're about to read is the first installment in series based upon thousands of internet documents obtained by sources at Twitter. So all this stuff, there are hundreds of evidence, and it keeps on coming, and more is being released. Celebrities and unknown alikes could be removed and reviewed at the behest of political party. So all of that was involved. So in other words, Twitter, during the 2020 election, was censoring stories that did not align with the Democratic Party. In essence, this was a government intervention in the election. Even more, this was a violation of the First Amendment, freedom of speech. So all of that is revealed. New York Post speaks about it. Biden's secret emails, done a good enough job talking about it. But here is the problem that I have. Just to show you the bias of many in the mainstream media, you go to CNN, Crickets. I'm on their page today. There is not a single article talking about what Elon Musk is doing. I want to remind you, these people were talking about everything that Elon Musk was doing. From the day he bought Twitter, every day they had something to say about Elon Musk. And one of the greatest stories is revealed. The greatest facts, evidence in your face is given. They say nothing. You go to MSNBC, Joy Reid, and many others. They've been talking about this. Look, the last article about Elon Musk, even when Elon Musk unblocked Donald Trump, they spoke about it. The last article we have was on November 29th. That's it. That's it. From that point forward, there's nothing else to be said about Elon Musk. So in other words, this story here, for as crucial as it is, revealing the facts, the documents are coming out. Everything that Twitter was doing through everything that I will say the Democrats were doing through Twitter, the platform itself, to control the speech of many conservatives, is all here, open to be read for anyone who wants it. It's all here, friends. They had conversation back and forth, making the decisions, and they knew this was wrong. When you read what they're saying, they knew this was wrong, but they kept on talking about it.
Tell the truth.
The truth.
The good news I have is that Fox News, of course, had the guts to speak about it, and I give them respect for that. So they've been reporting on a daily and even hourly basis about this. Elon Musk, Fast News, Elon Musk revealed what led Twitter suppression to hunt Mr. Biden's son's story. French President Macron with Elon Musk addressed social media regulations. Elon Musk reveals Jack Dorsey was blindsided by the president's son's story, censorship. So there's a whole lot happening here about this. But the sad reality is when it comes to, let me see if I can play this. I had you on mute, so let's redo that, okay?
Elon Musk has held back some material.
Wanted to speak first to Miranda Devine. She is, of course, a New York Post columnist. We spoke to her at the time, more than 2 years ago, about the censorship of this story. She's since written a book about it called Laptop from Hell, which is excellent. She joins us tonight. Miranda Devine, you are at the very center of this story. What do you make of it?
Look, I think we've seen quite a bit that's useful. It's not really the smoking gun we'd hoped for. I feel that Elon Musk has held back some material. In particular, there's a tweet in which Matt Taibbi says, well, he hasn't seen any evidence that law enforcement specifically warned off Twitter from our story. But that's just not correct. I've seen a sworn affidavit from Yoel Roth, the former head of Twitter's trust and safety. He was meeting every week before the election with FBI and other intelligence officials. They warned specifically of what they called a hack and leak operation, a dump of Russian disinformation. And Yoel Roth says that in those meetings, he was told there was a, quote, rumour that it was about Hunter Biden. So they seeded that information with the social media giants, the FBI did, and that ensured that within hours of our story going live on October 14, 2020, 3 weeks before the election, it was censored. Now we're finding out a little bit more that there was discussion behind the scenes at Twitter, quite an active argument about whether this was a First Amendment problem. But the other interesting thing is how little Jack Dorsey was involved. He was obviously just blindsided, it seems, by the people under him who were intent on censoring this. And I think we have to point the figure, you mentioned him already, Jim Baker, Twitter's #1 lawyer, who says he says their caution is warranted. Now, that's coming from your top lawyer. You're going to pay attention to it. He, of course, is former FBI general counsel, very much involved in the Russia collusion hoax.
What's interesting is, for the purposes of today's story, which, as I've said 5 times, is still unfolding, but Elon Musk announced earlier that this release of documents was going to begin at 5 p.m. Eastern. We're now more than 3 hours past that, and we still haven't seen everything that they're going to release. He said, well, actually, at the last minute, we're getting some facts straight. How likely is it, do you believe, of course, it's certain, that he was leaned on by government agencies? Just like everyone who tries to release all the information is leaned on by government agencies.
Yeah, and the pressure has to have been immense. I remember just yesterday, Wednesday, he met with Tim Cook from Apple, who had been threatening, even though Elon Musk now says he wasn't threatening, but he was threatening, as was the White House, that Twitter would basically be wiped out by being removed from the Google and Apple app stores. And so Elon Musk met in person with Tim Cook. They had a stroll around the pond of Apple headquarters, and it came out of that saying, well, Apple is not going to do that, never was going to do that. Well, obviously some sort of accommodation you would think was made between the two of them, and perhaps Elon Musk has given us a sort of a tailored or redacted version of all the material behind the scenes, because I know from the lawyers who were involved in the deposition last week of FBI agent Elvis Chan that there's much more to the story with the social media companies, and that top Twitter people like Yoel Roth, the former head of trust and safety, basically the top censor, the top moderation guy, he admitted that in one of those meetings that Hunter Biden's name was brought up. So while Mark Zuckerberg's been quiet about that, and while in this particular dump of information from Twitter so far, 38 or something tweets so far, there's been no mention of Hunter Biden being mentioned, but we know he was mentioned by the FBI to the social media giants. So will that come out in this feed from Elon Musk? Is he holding something back? Or is it just that Facebook really was first out of the blocks to censor the New York Post and Twitter followed suit? So I don't know. I suspect that Elon Musk has been leaned on and he's kept a little bit of information in reserve.
Yeah, well, there are still thousands.
Well, I will understand why. And this is a powerful story here, and he has to be somewhat careful how much he reveals. But again, friends, this is the news. For such a powerful news as it is, it's sad that very few are talking about it. I think Mr. Trump came. Let me get that video for you. Mr. Trump came and said, and he called out the hypocrisy that was in that, and he just said it like it is, man. He says, no, you're a hypocrite for not revealing this, talking to the news. So we're going to go to D-Day Cobra. D-Day Cobra has a little intro where Trump gave a piece of his mind to the reporter that was questioning him.
To call Biden a criminal. Why is that?
He is a criminal. He's a criminal. He got caught. Read his laptop. And you know who's a criminal? You're a criminal for not reporting it.
Yeah.
You are a criminal for not reporting it. Let me tell you something. Joe Biden is a criminal, and he's been a criminal for a long time. And you're a criminal in the media for not reporting it. Good luck, everybody. Have a good day.
Yeah, I said it.
That's Trump. He speaks his mind. He tells it just like it is. That is criminality. You got such a serious story such as that. You cover it up. You don't tell people about it. You hide it. You keep it. But the thing is, people don't realize, and these people refuse to acknowledge. Listen, think about the truth. You can hide it, cover it up, tangle it up, choke it if you want. You can try. The thing about the truth is so bold. Eventually, it gets in your face. I love how Judge Orwell said it, right? Here's on the screen right here. He said, in a time of universal deceit, telling the truth is a revolutionary act. Let me tell you, at this time, I have a lot of respect for Elon Musk for even stepping and talk about this, because for those of you that know, this is a serious thing. He is stepping in an arena that is out of his line. He's not coming as a conservative. He's more like, I would say, a liberal, somewhat in the middle, if you will say. But he just wants the truth to come out. He's tired of the nonsense, and he just wants to build public trust. But he's going against a lot of people here. So, but him telling this story has given me more respect for Elon Musk than any other things he's done. And not to downplay the effectiveness of his work as far as his his cars and the things he's achieved, and I mean the spaceships and so on. Elon Musk has done amazing thing in our centuries. I'll say I give him a lot of respect, period, regardless of how we may feel about him. But the thing is, certainly I'm going to be praying for him, because he's in a position right now where anything can happen. Yesterday, Elon was on a call, and I was listening to some of the calls, and people were asking questions and so on. One of the things that Elon says, he said, "I am not suicidal, everyone. If something happens to me, I'm not suicidal." And the point is, it is highly possible that his life could be at risk. He said he hasn't had anything come at him yet. And again, as you know, government moves really slow, but when they get to you, they will. And so Elam is going against a system here. He's going against a system, and the system is powerful. Uh, um, but if God is using this man for the time being, I really hope and pray that he will use him for his glory. God can draw a straight line with a crooked stick, and I am so glad to see it happening. And again, I'm all for free speech. I don't like speech that incite violence, of course. But when it comes to being able to share my view and perspective, I do not want my government to come and try to censor how I feel about a particular matter just because they want to uphold their narrative. That is something that matters much to me as a Christian. I cannot preach my gospel without free speech, because the gospel can be offensive. It's never sent to offend, but somewhere some will be offended. And if I cannot preach my gospel, if I cannot call sinners to repentance, if I cannot impose Mr. Antichrist, if I cannot call the apostasy that is in the church and lift up my Jesus so that sinners could be saved, friends, free speech is one of the means that I need to fight for in order for me to do that. Okay, we know no matter what happens, God wins at the end, and I have faith and confidence in Him. So these are matters we need to be concerned about, talk about, because it is gonna impact us in one way or another, whether we are politically driven or not. Here is the thing: Psalms 146 verse 3. While this is all happening, friends, take the word of God. Put not your trust in princes, nor in the Son of Man, in whom there is no help. His breath goeth forth, and he returneth to the earth. In that very day his thoughts perish. So princes here, and just in case you don't know, is government. Okay, people in political position. God says, don't put your trust in them. Does that mean all governments are bad? Am I a rebel and stuff? I don't believe in that. I believe some of them have been ordained by God to carry out a positive work. But we must not trust them, because there's corruption there as well. Just like there's corruption everywhere. Even in the church, there's corruption. So don't put your trust in men. What's the alternative? Put your trust in God. And I will always say this: when we're talking about politics, we can have opposition, but ultimately our trust must be in King of Kings, Lord of Lords. Whether you're Republican or Democrats, no, one of these individuals, either one, could fail you anytime. I like the fact Fox News is reporting this. Fox News is not perfect either. They have their issues. They have their biases. Okay. But at least they are telling the story for what it is, and we can work with that. And the other side, oh, shame on y'all. But anyway, that's where I take a stand when it comes to that. Thank you so much for listening. I hope this was clear. I don't want to keep adding on to this thing. I think I'm just going to sit back and watch it happen. I'm just loving what's happening. I'm just like, well, I can't believe I get to live in a time when this is happening in our country. It's sad that very few are talking about it, because this stuff, it plays right into the hands of our Constitution, right into the laws of this nation. This will impact us in very strong ways. And this is why it must be brought to attention. And again, I know the YouTube gatekeepers here. I don't want no smoke. I'm just speaking my mind. As far as my position is concerned, I take my stand with God and for the truth. And I know some of you who want to cancel, some of you gatekeepers who want to take videos down, I will say you need to calm down, relax, relax. Let people speak their minds. We're not inciting violence here. We're just saying this is what's happening. The alternative media must speak up, because the mainstream media will say nothing about things that they should be talking about.
Say something.
So therefore, the alternative medias, people like myself and many others, must raise their voice and speak about these things so that we can bring light to the particular issue in this that we are addressing today. Thank you so much for listening. Once again, thank you for checking out this video with me. Until next time, and as always, remember to look unto Jesus to live by faith. Have a good one. Bye.